are shaken.
Oh, of course.
Their economy is already strained with the war. Their economy was strained before the war because of their limited resource. Well, they have resources, but it's limited compared to us. Don't tell the Democrats that. At least the national one. Locally, they got some good ones. Maybe need to change their party. All right, let's talk about the facts. President Trump set a 50-day deadline for Russia to stop its war in Ukraine. Otherwise, 100% tariffs. Okay. Trump said Putin has played games before. You've played games before. Calling for peace, then launching missile strikes. We've seen it. Trump now says the time for talk is over. We agree. And I give the president a lot of kudos personally, because I know that's a lot longer than maybe he usually gives people to negotiate. So that's really good. Former Russian president, I always butchered his name, Medvedev. See, you can't either. Medvedev. He mocked the ultimatum, true Russian style, claiming Russia didn't care and that America is just posturing. Well, I will say this. Remember, foreigners, just like us, look at America as America. They don't look at it Democrat, Republican. They don't look at it, this strategy weak, this strategy strong. Now, they do pay attention to the personalities in office. They treated Reagan a hell of a lot different than they treated Carter. And they're treating Trump. They may put on a game. They're treating Trump a hell of a lot differently than they treated Biden. They weren't invading Ukraine in the 45th president's administration. Oh, no. They waited for the weakling. They waited for the auto pen. All right. So European leaders are slits. EU Foreign Policy Chief Kaja Kallas praised the leadership, but questioned whether 50 days was too generous. Way to go. See, that was a little twist. NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte called the plan logical and stood behind Trump's pressure campaign. Now, that's following what appeared to be a very good meeting between the president and the NATO Secretary General. Was that yesterday or over the weekend? I
think it was yesterday.
Yeah, I know we covered it over the weekend.
Yesterday. Called Trump daddy.
That's Lindsey Graham.
No. One of the NATO guys. I think the new guy.
Oh, I remember. Yeah, that is. Yeah, okay, wow. We're getting.
Wasn't old LG this time.
And say his name. He'll start business. All right. So yeah. But what happened? Trump shows strength. America shows strength, because it's not about the man. It's about the country. He's the leader of the country, but it's about the country. So our current policy, our current posture of strength, negotiating from strength, economically, militarily, you name it, whatever. Okay, America first, just like Italy put Italy first. And we're not mad if you do. I'm not mad if Russia puts Russia first. I'm not mad if Canada puts Canada first. So why is it a big deal? Do you hate our country? I mean, I get it. Outside the country, you might hate us.
There's a lot of haters inside.
I know.
Wish they'd move.
Yeah, one-way ticket. Hey, I hear Ireland's accepting. They accepted Rosie O'Donnell.
Good. That's enough for me to never back.
They may be giving her back though. I don't know.
Yeah. Won't be seeing me in Ireland again. Y'all keep her.
Oh, we refueled in Ireland on the way back home, and
Shannon.
Yeah, and the pilot announced, because it's just nothing but military service members. We'll be refueling for about an hour, and the bar's open.
Yeah.
Oh man, tell it to the guys that's just been in the desert. So Kiev's mayor, he's welcomed the U.S. support, but also said 50 days might be too much of a grace period. Hey, look, I think it's a good balance, and I'm a little shocked that Trump gave him 50 days, but I think that's a mature approach. I think it's definitely enough. I mean, they're two superpowers. You're not dealing with. This is not Iran sending some missiles to Israel. This is a little different. This is a lot different, actually.
It's time to be done, though. I mean, this has been going on, gosh, how long? 3-4 years, and Trump did say be field before he started.
He should have never said that.
He should have never said that. And I understand there were other things going on in the world, but
no, he should have never said that. That was silly. Silly. But that's what he does. He goes green. Come on now. We know him by now. Judge him by his accomplishments, not by his mouth. Because if we judge him by his mouth, he would be the worst president, if not one of the worst. If we judged him by his accomplishments, man, he's racking them.
Doing all right.
He's racking them heavily and quickly the second term. I will say that. That's acting like a man that knows where the levers of government are, that has had some time to think and say, you know what, yeah, I made some mistakes here, but you know what, I didn't make mistakes there. And I need to do this, this, and this. I need to do that differently. And you're seeing that plan come into fruition. I like how he's handled the Ukraine-Russia war. It's a very delicate situation. He's showing way more military support than Biden did with the Patriot missiles and all those things. He's also doing that without selling out our country and making NATO pay us for our equipment. So we're manufacturing. That's a whole domino effect. You know what I mean? But the 50 days, don't let that look too soft. That is not soft. 50 days, a 50-day ultimatum to a superpower who has invaded Ukraine, where there's a lot of pride there. There's a lot more geopolitical sensitivities than what our cable news praise each day, and that's normal. Yeah. That's not a hit on the media. It's just, I mean, we don't live there. There's politics in Louisiana that's different than Canada. You know?
One thing I noticed that Trump is doing a lot different this term is he's taking the time to kind of explain himself.
Yes.
Before he was just, shooting, explain later. Shoot first, ask questions later. But now he's like, look,
I get that.
This is why I'm doing this. If you do this way, this happens. If you do it this way, like in a very plain spoken, very understandable way. And I think we've been craving that for a very long time.
Absolutely. All right, guys, stick around. Well said, Jamie. We'll be right back. And, rumble.com. Did I mention that? Yeah, rumble.com, the Josh Guillory Show. Right back. broadcasting live from the Field University Studios right here in the city of Illinois, the hometown of Travis. All right, folks, we are just lots to talk about. Let's go to rumble.com. There's a chat feature there. Chat us. Give us a little chat there. Let's see ya. All right. Also, you know who's very vocal on Vladimir?
Who?
Melania. Really? I say vocal. She's not a vocal person, but she is very eloquent. I think very smart too. How many languages does she?
Like 4 or something.
It's crazy. I was like 5, but she knows about it. But she's reportedly been involved behind the scenes, of course, pushing the right people, keeping up pressure, and helping the diplomacy stay on course. They say that she's somewhat active here on this. And what better person close to him? Look where she's from. She knows all about this culture. Supposedly, she was inspired by Reagan in the 80s, moved to America. To America.
She moved because some modeling opportunities.
I would imagine that, but that's what the guy before us just said. She was inspired by Reagan. That's what I said some people say. Some people say. I would imagine that helped too. But she didn't have to become a citizen. She could have been a model and not a citizen.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, she got married, though.
Yeah. Do you think they were on 60-day or 90-day fiance? Do y'all think?
Oh, what's the one where they send them back?
What?
Don't they have one?
Whoa!
90 days after the madness?
That's called you be deported.
Or like buyer's remorse.
Yes. Buyer's remorse. Hey, 90-day fiance, maybe. Buyer's remorse. Season 2.
It reminds me of a guy I used to work with a long time ago, back in the oil field.
What?
Yeah, I worked back in in an office, but it was for a company. But look, this man had him it's just back in the late 90s. He had a catalog, and there was pictures of ladies in it, and it was literally a mail order bride. He could go. It was our website. He'd go and pick however many ones he wanted to date with each night.
What?
In Colombia or something like that. Yeah, mail order catalog.
Oh, yeah. Hey, well, I was not Melania. We know that. All right. So this whole thing with Trump, 50-day ultimatum, all these things, what we're seeing here is strength. We're seeing actual real leadership after being deprived of that for 4 years. But you don't send billions with those strings. You don't beg. You don't apologize. You don't go whispering behind closed doors with red lines and never enforce. That's what we've done for years. For years. You tell the world what's going to happen, and then you follow through. That's what American leadership over the last 250 years looks like. You can see about 5 or 6, maybe 7 strong examples of that. We may be, I don't know if we are, we may be in one of those moments. It sure seems like we're at a pivotal point. It sure seems like economically, I don't know if we would have lasted. I don't know if Trump wouldn't have won. He may not be the savior, but he sure as hell stopped the bleeding. And look, so far, man, the guys, I have no problem with what he's doing, tariff-wise. I mean, I would communicate differently, and I've been in the public. I have communicated differently. But so what? What would you rather? What would we rather? We want some slick petition talking all this great stuff and delivering none? Or do you want someone that shoots people straight, gets the job done, and he may say something that hurts your ears. He may communicate in a way that just is not nice. And it might, frankly, be childish at times. Yes, he can act childish at times. I don't care. I don't care. I used to care. I don't care anymore with that at this point in the game. At this point in the game where where we had such a bad trade deficit, where we're still working on it, where our manufacturing jobs were just they were coming back. Oil and gas wasn't coming back. We're still not out of it, not even close. But I do see that pendulum swinging. You know what I mean? I do see that just drives me crazy. I don't know why anybody else can. On the left, see that. Or do they see it?
They see
they don't. Yeah, or they ignore it.
Exactly.
So anyway, I appreciate it. But you don't do all that. You don't make the threats without having the ability to follow through. An ultimatum is nothing unless you're willing to do it. You tell them what you're going to do, and then you doggone do it. And now if we only have politicians to tell the folks what they're going to do and then go do it while they're in office, that would be great. A few do.
Yeah. I remember one in particular.
That's why I'm behind this microphone and behind a podium. Sometimes, look, guys, you got to go in and helping people means pissing off other people that have been screwing the others. That's just the truth. Now, we know that in the local level, but that happens at the national level. Happens at, I think it happens at the state level probably the most. But that's my thoughts. It's my thought. Something easily clean too. If you wanted to clean all that up, you could. You could. It's not a priority. Not a priority. All right, but back to strength, back to leadership, actual leadership. Yeah. Trump didn't say, "Please, Vladimir, please stop the war." He said, "You got 50 days." He said, "You have 50 days, or tariffs go nuclear." That's the message, and he's willing to do it because we've seen him do it. And on that same token, in that same breath, we've also seen the man be extremely flexible, and in my opinion, that is a strong attribute of a good leader. Too many leaders are so rigid. It's my way or the highway. I said this is what we're doing. I don't care if the facts are different now. I don't care if I learn different things that I didn't know before I made the decision. This is what I said, and we're going to do it. That's a horrible leader. And if you're involved in an organization that's the guy, reevaluate. Got to be flexible. You're going nowhere if you're not flexible. And the president understands that. The president is a businessman. He understands negotiation. He understands. You know why he understands? Because every success he's had in his life outside the public office has been with his own money. That means he's had to make decisions, sometimes quick, sometimes methodical, that impact his bottom line. It's real easy to go in there when you play with Uncle Sugar's dollars, really our dollars. The organization's already built. Running LCG was easy. I'm a businessman. I led troops in battle. Not bragging, I'm just saying, government's easy, don't make it hard. Don't make it hard. Don't spend more money than you got. That's easy. Don't spend more money than you got. Too easy, right? One-time capital projects, don't build them unless you can maintain them. Pretty easy, right? Pretty easy. Do what government's supposed to do. Clean the streets, build the roads, do the infrastructure, do the drainage, make sure your utilities are good. Keep us safe. You can do that. Okay. Keep politics out of law enforcement. Okay. Got all that. That's pretty much it.
You can have one more.
Okay.
Don't make it harder than it has to be.
Yeah.
Golly.
Yeah, exactly. So government's not hard. Most listeners listen down, and you could walk in there and lead that government. You could. Just do the basics and do it. Then you will take care. And then everything else falls into place. You know, when we left office, we had what, the highest or the lowest unemployment in the state of Louisiana. That's not by accident. That's because we got government doing what it's supposed to do. And now the state needs to. The president's trying to do it. Thank you for him. Anyway, all right, guys, we'll be right back. Stick around. The phone line's going to be open, and I can't wait. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show, broadcasting live from the Beal and Abear Studios, right here in Acadiana, your hometown lawyers. Go call those guys, Beal and Abear. All right, guys, phone lines are open, 232-1542, 232-1542, outside the Acadiana area. If you're viewing us on rumble.com, go to rumble.com, follow the Josh Guillory Show. You can see us over here outside the Acadiana area, 844-766-6607. All right, let's hear from you. Okay, so continue this discussion here. So Trump, again, he puts the 50-day ultimatum. I think that's reasonable. I think that's at least doing something, but I want to change the topic. I want to change the topic a little bit. Hey, remember these congressional maps? Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Remember Louisiana? You know, we're a Republican state, right?
Well, what happened was
no. Wait.
We elected Ryan.
Hold on. I thought conservative. Okay. Anyway, supermajority in both chambers and a Republican governor. And, you know, what's the first thing you do? One of the first things you do? Let's call a special session, not just a regular session. Let's call a special session.
More than one.
And, oh, you called a special session just for this, though. And I got an idea. So someone had to say this. I have an idea. Let's give the Democrats an extra seat in Congress. Well, that's not really how it went down. That deal went down in back smoke-filled rooms in New Orleans or somewhere in Baton Rouge. That, you know. Anywho, so Texas, my friend. Well, they have a little common sense over there. Their legislature and governor is actually acting on recent jurisprudence and actually doing the right thing that their people want. Let's dive into this. So Rachel Royster at the Star-Telegram is reporting that Governor Greg Abbott has called a special session, this time to redraw Texas's congressional maps mid-decade.
Crazy.
Not even waiting the full 10. Now, this comes after the DOJ claimed several districts in Houston and Fort Worth were unconstitutional condition districts, which were drawn on racial lines. Does that sound familiar?
Just the word coalition in itself has some very democratic, liberal undertones to it.
Like community organizer.
Coalition.
Where's
Jesse Jackson when you need him?
Rainbow Coalition. Come on now. All right. I have to do that in Baby Billy's voice.
Uncle Baby. Oh, now. Well, now, I'll tell you. Call her Aunt Tiffany.
Oh, man.
She gets real upset when you don't call her Aunt Tiffany now.
So here are the key facts. This wasn't a court. This was the Department of Justice. So the DA sent a letter to Governor Abbott and the Texas AG alleging that 3 of Houston's congressional districts and 1 in Fort Worth district, which was District 33, held by Democrat Mark Vise, they were racially gerrymandered and are unconstitutional.
So you're telling me that specifically drawing a district to elect a black person or Hispanic or minority is against the law and is racial gerrymandering and it shouldn't be done. You're telling me.
It turns out this Justice Department actually recognizes racism.
Apparently their governor does too.
So let's just get back to the basics here, okay? When the government treats a class of people differently based on race, that is racial discrimination. Something that a lot of people, especially in the Democrat Party, fought very hard for.
It's only racial discrimination if it doesn't benefit black people.
Well, or
Hispanics or
any demographic that the left feels they can control.
Long as they're not white, it's discrimination.
Yeah, telling you, man. Telling you. So the term coalition district, you were wise and keen to focus on that. It refers to a district where minority groups with similar voting patterns, that's really all they care about, similar voting patterns are packed together. It's a common practice.
So it's
it was a common practice. It's not a common practice anymore, thank God.
It's a guaranteed seat.
It's a guaranteed party seat.
Stupid.
So, and again, the Democrat Party could give two rats, you know what, about minority groups voting together. They care about similar voting patterns. Look where this is at. 3 districts in Houston, 1 district in Fort Worth, all Democrat districts. That should tell you something. That should tell you something. Now, Vize, as we say.
It's like we say that down here.
I think it's Vize, though. Exploded over the move. He's called it a craven power grab.
Is it? That's what they did.
I mean, craven power grab. Okay.
Like what they did.
You literally built a district based on racism and voting patterns
to get power.
Yeah. You want to talk about craven power grab? Jeez, man.
Did they enlist the same folks who drew our district here?
No, that would be the Louisiana legislature led by a Republican in the executive branch.
You get the same mapping firm or the same demographer.
Man, Louisiana didn't care about that. They told them which Democrat they may deal with to get elected, and they said, draw a map that makes that happen.
Put that in Chat GPT. See what they put. Tell them put all the black people in one section. See what we got to do to get Cleo elected. Put that through that.
Well, Vize over there in Texas claims that Trump and Abbott, they can't win a fair fight in 2026. So they gotta our district lines. Hey, Congressman, just saying, man, you would be screaming a different tone if the administration was different. Number one. Number two, how can you support racism and still claim to fight racism? I don't understand that. How can you support a district that was gerrymandered on race and specifically on the voting patterns? But we'll say race, it's voting patterns.
Does you know what state he's in?
You in Texas.
Like, I don't think Greg Abbott needs to rig anything. I mean, Texas has seen a large growth in their minority populations, especially the Hispanic population.
But our numbers were
not
better.
Enough.
Republican numbers have been better recently compared to, was it Oric or whatever? What was his name? The guy that went and got his teeth brushed.
Say again.
No, the congressman that ran for Senate against Ted Cruz.
Oh, Joaquin Castro.
No, Rody.
Joaquin Castro.
No, Oric. Beto
O'Rourke.
Yes, O'Rourke. I was close.
I was close to Joaquin Castro.
Yeah,
might as well be the same guy.
Super close. Actually, Fidel Castro would be the appropriate comparison if we had to.
So I'm still stuck on this person saying that
they
can't win in a fair fight.
We can't win in a fair fight.
This is Texas. To quote Beyonce a little loosely.
Babe.
This is Texas. Like, come on now.
Yeah.
Y'all had to cheat to get your seats, and you're crying that they're trying to get out of here.
You literally drew them. Well, actually, the Republican legislature of there drew them, but under pressure based on
backroom deals.
Yeah,
you know what it was. You know exactly what it was.
Let's dive a little deeper. So the Supreme Court ruled in 2023, very recent case, that coalition districts don't violate the Voting Rights Act, but states still have the power to redraw maps. So we have a Republican leader in Texas working with its Republican legislature. Now they got legal grounds. You have to have legal grounds to do it. But once they found the legal grounds, at least they have the cojones to do something.
I bet they'll fix it.
Yeah, I mean, they're not doing it willy-nilly, and I don't support doing it willy-nilly. You have to have lawful reasons to do it, and they have lawful reasons to do it. But I bet you this, down the street in Baton Rouge, if they had lawful reasons, and they had, which very much an argument that we do. But anyway, if they had that information, they wouldn't do crap about it. They wouldn't. Who thinks they would change the district? Please. Who thinks they would change the district?
They would do everything they can to preserve the district.
They are. Hey, by the way, guys, that our district, our second Democrat district that we gave to the Democrats, our Louisiana Republicans gave to Democrats, that map is actually being challenged. It's in front of the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court's going to wait a little bit before they rule on it. But
I wonder why.
But Louisiana has to take a position there. You have to either be arguing for or against that district. Now, we're a Republican state. Surely we're arguing against giving the Democrats a seat. Oh, no. Your tax dollars, ladies and gentlemen, this ain't campaign money. This is your money. You are paying right now, Louisiana citizens. You are paying right now to defend an extra Democrat seat in Congress.
This ain't Texas.
No, it ain't. All right, guys, stick around. By the way, them phone lines are way too quiet for this awesome audience. Now, give us a call, 232-1542. We'll be right back. The Josh Guillory Show, broadcasting live from the Bill and Abear Studios right here in Acadiana. Bill and Abear, your hometown lawyers. All right, now them phone lines are open, 232-1542 outside the Acadiana area or inside, 844-766-6607. You can also see us and listen to us live or in our archives. The Josh Guillory Show on rumble.com. Let's go to the phone lines. I think this is Dirty Rice. Is this Dirty Rice?
It sure is, man.
Hey.
What's going on?
Hey, what's up, Dirty Rice? What you got today, my man? Bring the heat.
Oh, man, I ain't no heat today. Just helping people out. We just gave blood in Karen Crow at the Super Bowl.
Hey, yeah.
So Joe Cunningham, he didn't look too good in the heat there. But, yeah, if anybody can go out and get blood, go out to Karen Crow Super One.
Yeah, man. Shout out there. Well, thanks, Dirty Rice. I appreciate you, my man.
Yeah. I don't have nothing negative today, so.
Well, hey, we love positive and we love when you call in, man. Talk to you soon, brother. Appreciate you.
All right, buddy.
Okay, my man. All right, so let's continue our discussion. Our wonderful audience is just very quiet today, but that's okay because we're still enjoying our time with you. Okay, so now political science experts, that's according to this article that we're covering, political science experts expect Republicans in Texas to redraw more than just the 4 DOJ target districts. Now, I'm all about fairness. I'm all about keeping politics out of congressional districts. I am. I really am. But that's not the system. The system is completely political. And it's designed to be that way, political in the sense that elected folks, with differing ideas, discuss things and come up with a decision. But really, the maps were drawn politically. That whole minority-majority district is a political solution to a problem that people thought that was the best solution. Okay, now I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. We know that that's really the Democrat Party making a foothold on certain demographics that they feel that they can control. And why do they feel that? Because they are the party of slavery. Same slave masters, different slaves. And that's sad. But the good news is there's hope. And we just got to continue to talk. So, continue to discuss the issues, especially this audience. You know what's going on. Talk to your friends. Don't be afraid to talk to a Democrat. They just may need some education. You never know. If we're always preaching to the choir, we're not going to grow the attendance. Okay? So go for it. You got substance. Remember, we're conservatives and or Republicans. Not always the same. Anyway, let's move on. So the process is moving pretty fast. Likely to be done before the November filing deadline. That is like really fast, guys. That is really, 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 really fast. But again, these maps are all political. So when the Republicans in Texas are in charge, which they are right now, they're doing something about it. They're not violating the law, but yes, it's political, but they're not afraid to use it to help their people. A majority of their folks identify as conservative or Republican. Don't get mad at the legislature for drafting districts that favor that. I don't support any of that. I wish it was apolitical, and I wish we could press a button where it's just, here it is. Here's your congressional districts. I wish there was an objective way to be able to do all that where there's no politics. But that's impossible. These maps are drawn by elected folks, elected legislators. And then depending on your state, if you have our state like a Democrat model, Huey P. Long central government, that's what we have. It's what we have. That's what we have.
You got to convince me.
And I hadn't seen a Republican that wanted to change it.
Don't get me all excited again.
Yeah. So if you get that, if you have a state like that, well, then the governor just tells you what to do. And then the legislature acts like a bunch of puppets and just does it. Hey, I wonder how many Republicans regret their vote.
State?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
how many? Hey, look. No, I'm sorry. I apologize. Hold on. Wrong question. I meant legislators. How many? You straight up raised your hand. So how many legislators? This is a question for the audience too. How many Republican legislators voted on the congressional map to give the Democrat Party, Cleo Fields, a seat at Congress, to take away from Republicans because we're mad at Garrett Graves? Well, Garrett Graves voted like a damn Republican. Anyway,
man,
that's what I'm saying. But how many of them regret their vote? I would say probably a lot. And if there's any of them staying in front of me, I would say if you don't do something about it, you're a coward. Because if you truly regret your vote, drop a bill. Drop a bill to redraw the districts.
You know what happens?
That won't happen because that will go against the kingmakers. That will go against the 2 or 3 people that feel like they still have authority over everyone's mind and no one can think. And I'm talking about the legislature. Okay? The people think we thought we sent a bunch of conservatives to Baton Rouge. We thought we sent a Republican to Baton Rouge. That's what we thought.
Well, ask Alan Seabaugh and
That's what we thought.
Blake Miguez what happens if you try to drop a bill to counter something.
Yeah.
Ask them what happens.
That's why I like Miguez, because he ain't afraid to just, I guess if Blake and I'm not in the legislature, my voting record would probably be the same as his. Same thing in Congress, same thing in Senate, whatever.
You got to deal with the bully who sits in the governor's
but
office.
Who gives a crap, man? Stand up. Look, do the. You know what? I'm assuming something that probably is not fair or accurate. But any public official that does it because they want to do the right thing, you don't have to be ugly. You don't have to be rude or name call, but stand up for your values and stand up for the values of the people that sent you there. The worst thing that can happen is you lose an election, and who cares? Who cares? Such a small aspect of life.
Hey, but they passed that luxury boat tax cut.
Oh boy. Oh yeah, that's right.
I covered that while you was out.
That's right. All right, guys, stick around. We'll be right back. Hour number 2. We got so much to talk about. Welcome to hour number 2 of the Josh Guillory Show. I remain your grateful host. And in studio with me still, my main man, Jamie Angel.
What's up, y'all?
Man, thanks for sticking around.
Well, I'm happy to be here.
You have a good break?
I did.
That's good. That's good.
Coffee.
I did too. We are broadcasting live from the Bill and Bear Studios right here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Your hometown lawyers, Bill and Bear. Give those guys a call. Also broadcasting live on rumble.com. You can go to rumble.com, look up the Josh Guillory Show, give us a follow, give us a chat. I think we have a associate producer. I think we have some chats on there, don't we? Yeah, good. We'll have to read them off later. All right, so this hour we're going to focus a lot on the Federal Reserve, but specifically, first part, Federal Reserve buying a building. Shocker, they're over budget. Trump has some things to say about that. And we'll start the conversation on that, and then I think we'll wrap it up with our thoughts on maybe Jerome Powell, maybe that's the Fed chair, appointed by Trump, but pretty much has acted as Biden's agent.
Pretty much.
I mean, that dude refuses to lower rates. I know he's one vote. I get it.
I forgot to let you know, we were talking about redistricting earlier. I forgot to mention Gavin Newsom had some comments. And he says that, obviously all the things, but he's threatening to redistrict California.
Ooh.
Like they're not already.
Yeah. Like, what are you going to do?
Like, you can't just arbitrarily redistrict anytime you want to, Gavin.
Gotta have a reason.
If you want to be president one day, you should know simple things.
Man. All right. So, Trump administration is turning up the heat on Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell. All right. Now, specifically over a 2.5, this is going to make your blood boil, I'm telling you. Specifically over a $2.5 billion renovation of the Fed's headquarters. That's what we need. Hey, that's what we need to be spending money on. Yeah, not an M, not a $2.5 million renovation. $2.5 billion renovation for the dang Federal Reserve.
To put that in perspective, that is about right now what the price tag is on the I-49 interchange.
Yeah, there you go. All for the Federal Reserve to be comfy.
For a building that already exists now. They're not building nothing new.
Right. $2.5 billion. Now it's $700 million over budget.
Go figure.
I mean, shocker. Only the federal government can underbid that or overbloat that much. That's crazy. So the accusations that the Trump administration's bringing, financial mismanagement, yeah, I'd say so. Possible violations of federal procedures, they don't care. Misleading Congress, yeah, I'd say so. You got to get appropriations. But that's Trump. Now, Trump officials say Powell's failure to get proper architectural approvals and his alleged evasions in Senate testimony may be grounds for removal. Trump's trying to build up grounds to remove Jerome Powell. Also, you're going to hear from the left today, probably, maybe you already have, that inflation is ticking up. Inflation. Well, now we have experts coming out on the same channel saying that it's cost and explaining the difference between inflation and CPI and things like that, cost price index. I do not claim to be an economist, but I know when we're getting screwed, and we were getting screwed. And I know that the left and the media said that all hell was going to break loose, and all hell has not broken loose. The left and the media said all our prices the next day or next week, we're going to all skyrocket and we're going to lose our jobs and our families and our house. And again, all hell's going to break loose, and none of that happened. Not saying none of that's a threat, just saying it hasn't happened. And they're supposed to be the news. Supposed to be the news. The propaganda machines. So let's go over a few little important facts. The Fed is renovating the historic Mariner S. Eccles building in D.C. That's the official name of it. Again, over $700 million budget. Wow. Or $700 million over their $2.5 billion budget. Man. Trump White House, led by the OMB director, Russell Vought, is slamming Powell for cost overruns and procedural violations tied to the National Capital Planning Commission. I think this is just reeks of bureaucratic financial blah.
You want to talk about no kings?
Yeah.
This sounds a lot like somebody, like when you remember Saddam's palaces.
Yes, I toured several of them. Yes.
That man he was like some fancy stuff.
He certainly did.
Apparently Jerome does as well.
Yeah. Well, that fits, Look, centralized power.
You need 4 walls, a desk, and maybe a computer and a phone. That's what you need.
They can Zoom those meetings in. What is it, 12 of them?
Oh, no, you got to get them to show up.
No, that's true.
But no, you don't need private dining rooms or rooftop gardens. And all that.
It's sickening. It's sickening.
Because that's how you serve the people, with a rooftop garden.
Yeah.
It's totally applicable to the Federal Reserve.
For my bureaucrats, they need to look at the garden. So the Fed insists those features are being redone, not added, and that some were removed or scaled back. And that's regarding the new VIP dining rooms that you may have been alluding to. Yeah, luxury items, rooftop gardens, all that. The Fed also claims it doesn't need the commission's permission.
What?
Well, it said it didn't need it. But Vault says changes require approval, and he's got their approval. Okay.
This reminds me of
what?
You remember when the old assessor wanted a new building?
Who's that?
Con man.
Oh,
Como
God.
Wanted a new building, and he's like, "Well, I don't have to ask. I'm just gonna go buy a new building. I'll put bulletproof glass in it
because that's what the assessor needs.
Because the assessor really needed a brand new fancy building.
How many cars do we pay for the assessor? The tax assessor has the best gig financially.
Highest paid elected official in the parish.
Highest elected paid official in the parish. And oh my God.
About $250,000 a year.
Not like
new vehicle every year.
Yeah. And I think it's multiple. I don't know. Pretty sad. Anyway. But hey, you get to send out a political piece with your name on it. Don't matter if we lie. All right, so Powell's defense to all this. Jerome said, I don't appreciate you guys saying all these things. He said, higher labor costs are the reason. $700 million worth? Higher labor costs? Well, I mean, if we got illegals picking strawberries, I don't know why the hell they can't go build your damn office. I'm just saying, that's their argument, not mine. I'm perfectly fine with Americans picking my strawberries.
Well, y'all are so anti-ICE, and you don't, keep them out of the Home Depot parking lot. Well, go.
Yes.
Get them before ICE gets there.
Get there in the rooftop. But remember, Democrats don't care they are okay with Mexicans making less than minimum wage. Take advantage of it, Jerome. That's your peeps. You cross the dark side.
Is that not a federal contract, though? What about all the DEI requirements?
That's true. Well, that might be why
it costs so much.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to have like 12 gay folks on your team working, building stuff, whatever.
Agency reviews. That's what he said. One of his defenses was for all this. Agency reviews. You just answered that with bureaucracy. Well, get rid of it. Get rid of it. A lot of that's your own oversight. Get rid of the wasteful bureaucracy. Now, agency is not him. Agency's in the agency. I get it, but that is an agency. No, actually, it's not. But agency reviews, that's what. So, Jerome Powell, Mr. Chair, you're saying you're $700 million over budget for this Taj Mahal of a damn office that we are paying for, and that our children will probably pay for, and their children will probably pay for. You're blaming agency review for your budget crisis? I mean, that is...
And you don't need to ask for permission.
Yeah, right.
In what world do we live?
He did say this, and this should really make your blood boil. And surprise asbestos are to blame. That's
surprise.
You're telling me an architect that knew when the building was built, that has the plans, presumably, okay? You're telling me that was a surprise. No, that's going to be included in your construction.
Surprise.
$700 million over budget. It's the surprise asbestos that we knew about, we didn't know about, but we knew about.
Oh, we have jobs to do? I'm surprised.
Stick around, guys. We'll be right back. Josh Guillory Show, broadcasting live from the Bill and Bear Studios right here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Bill and Bear, your hometown lawyers. Give those guys a call if you got legal questions. They'll take care of you.
Yeah, and go watch us on Rumble.
Yeah.
Follow us.
For free.
Go chat.
For free. Yeah, definitely chat.
Chat's
definitely
active today.
I love it.
Folks there.
I love it. I love it. I love it. We see it in the break. We see it. If you got any you want to read them off. All right, let's see here. So going back to this, it's hard for me to even say it. $2.5 billion renovation. Not build. And even so, man, this is $2.5 billion.
Would it be? That's a new Mississippi River bridge.
Yeah, for the Federal Reserve.
That's just a remodel, y'all.
We're remodeling the Federal Reserve Office for $2.5 billion, and of course, in typical government fashion, $700 million over budget.
No, look, we worked in a building, you and I. Not the most modern.
No.
I remember a time we almost all died on the escalator.
Y'all did. I was off.
Yeah, lucky you. Imagine if you did propose $1 million or so for like some roof repairs that even had a hard time passing.
Yeah.
Imagine if you had proposed like this outlandish rehabilitation project.
Well, let me take that back. Facility and planning recommended it, and I let them convince me, and they were right. Yeah. It did need renovation.
But that whole place, I mean, it's got carpet on the wall. That carpet probably ain't been vacuumed in a couple decades.
Hey, but there's different. If you say that too loud, that Democrat in office down the road is renovating that damn building for $10 million.
I bet it has asbestos. I know it has mold.
You keep saying that the price tag's going to keep going up. They don't know. They don't care about budgets and stuff. Anyway. All right. Powell has asked the Fed's Inspector General. So Trump makes all these accusations. Jerome Powell, being the bureaucrat government crony that he is, asked the federal inspector general to investigate. But Trump officials say this may be grounds for removal. All this mismanagement, things like that. The gentleman who's the guy on before us?
Eric Erickson.
I was listening to a little bit of him, and he was big on not removing Jerome Powell. I disagree. And if Trump feels like Powell's working against the government, man, get that guy out of there.
Well, I'm sorry. What are interest rates at right now?
Thank you. You're not Jerome Powell. You're not helping the economy. You're not leading your fellow governors. You're just not helping the economy. Your own reports are saying costs may be up, but inflation's not. So
the housing market should be booming right now. We should have a robust housing market because it's prime for it. I mean, costs are going down, inflation's going down, but what's not going down? Interest rates. Why?
And you do have a few governors on the Federal Reserve that have been open, that have come out publicly, which we don't see a lot. But there were several, we covered those, board members that publicly supported President Trump's call to lower interest rates. And it's not just President Trump, it's all the industry leaders, your realtors, your mortgage lenders, your builders, people that do things in the economy. It's all, and hey, lending, interest rates. We could go on and on about how this impacts the government. Hey, also, our debt, you remember that, Jerome Powell? When you lower the interest rates, our national debt goes down too, or our payments to the national debt. So come on, what are you doing? I'm not saying do it in a subjective way, but my goodness, at least explain yourself. You got all these experts, you got all these people, and then you got all these elected officials that want you to do it. I get it. You don't want to just listen to elected officials because this should be objective. But man, your fellow members are saying it. What the hell's wrong with you?
When you're so worried about tariffs,
yeah.
I mean, what's the best way to counter that tariff? Lower the interest rate. It'll balance out. Like if you lower interest rates right now, I guarantee you any sort of tariffs on at least the auto industry,
that's a good point,
would be minimal. Same with housing, because again, materials, tariffs on some of these materials they have to bring in. But if you lower interest rates, it balances out.
Man, these new world order, global economists, elitists don't care about any of that common sense you just said. They don't care.
I'm not even good at math. But it's so easy to figure out. What's wrong with y'all?
Come on now. Kevin Hassett backed the claims and said Trump can fire Powell for cause.
Can he?
I don't know.
I mean, can he? Because
well, for cause, I would imagine. I don't know that answer. I mean, he's appointed, and Trump appointed him. I would imagine you can remove your appointee.
He's not God. He's got to have a boss.
Yeah, I mean,
Trump appointed him?
Trump appointed him in his first term, and then he went crazy.
And who was there before?
And
Greenspan?
he went full global. The pandemic didn't help, but he absolutely went world economy elitist.
You don't think we should have a global currency?
Hell no.
Digital global currency?
No.
Just controlled by one entity?
Hell no. Let all those countries manipulate their own countries like they're doing, currencies like they're doing, and trying to manipulate ours. Trump was right in 2015 when he called out China for currency manipulation. How many other people were talking about that? I didn't hear any of them. And he was right.
You make a good point.
Think about it. Like, look, I get it, man. Some people may not like how the dude talks. I don't like how some of the things he says, but I don't like some of the things my wife says, but she's always right.
Wow.
You like that, don't you?
My wife won't listen, so.
Jamie, you listen so well.
Oh.
Beautiful.
No, she don't listen to shows. Come on, man. Trying to get me. I thought we was friends.
I'm just listening. I'm just reading.
You were my boy, Blue.
My boy, Blue. So Powell, during this whole time, meanwhile, continues resisting Trump's pressure to lower interest rates, continues to resist pressure from his Federal Reserve members to lower interest rates, continues to ignore the industry leaders that are impacted by interest rates, saying tariffs created too much economic uncertainty. Well, I'll tell you what. We definitely had certainty under Biden when it comes to the trade wars and stuff.
Screwed.
Yes, we were certainly getting our ass handed to us every single day in and day out. I'll be honest with you. I'll be the first to admit, until Trump said tariffs the first go round in this first term, I didn't even know we didn't have reciprocal tariffs until about 10 years ago, whenever Trump started talking about it.
You think Jerome goes turkey hunting with T. Jeff? No, I'm serious. I'm serious. Little T. Jeff takes Jerome. They go turkey hunting, and they're like, how we gonna do that? We gonna stay rich. You keep them interest rates high. I'm gonna keep them insurance rates high. We gonna be partners.
You bring your boat.
Bring your boat.
You can bring your luxury boat. Won't get taxed on it.
Look, Jerome, move to Louisiana.
Do you think? See, if the $2.5 billion would cover a luxury boat, you know what I mean? Then they would.
They both are equally as good with money as the other.
You're gonna have to fill me in on that bill that you covered on while I was out.
It's simple: $200,000 luxury crafts, no tax. And it excludes commercial fishing unless you want to have charter fishing services.
I'm just saying, hey, I'm all about finding reasonable. I mean, it's easy to convince me to lower taxes. Okay, I get it, but when the state at the state level specifically picks winners and losers like that, that's part of the problem. Just like I mean, hey, Tim Temple's right about, and Joe's right about on his show when he talks about socialist price controls. That's that same mentality, though. That's all the same mentality. We in charge, and we're gonna pick who's winning and who's losing.
I'm a kingmaker.
Anyway, all right, guys, stick around. We're back. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show, broadcasting live from the Beal and Abear Studios right here in Acadiana. Beal and Abear, your hometown lawyers. Give those guys a call, man. My favorite time of the show. Phone lines are open. Jerry, we saw you earlier. Rather call back in 232-1542, 844-766-6607. Everybody send a search party to find Mr. Bobby. Hadn't heard about him heard from him in about 3 weeks.
Right?
Mr. Bobby, you call us.
He's probably in Costa Rica or someplace fancy.
He probably is.
Yeah, our boy Kill Switch says, man, T. Jeff took a page out of Biden, Fields, and Obama's book. Whoa, whoa, take the money and run. I can't. Look, don't ask me to sing, man.
That was good. You did good. You answered all the questions.
All the questions, Joe.
So, man, this whole renovation thing really just blows my mind. But let's switch gears a little bit, okay? So let's talk about costs. Let's talk about inflation, and let's talk about the Federal Reserve's Mr. Powell. Mr. Federal Reserve Chair, I got the gavel. I'm not lowering interest rates. Anyway.
You can't fire me.
Yeah. So Howard Schneider over there at Reuters reports that inflation ticked up slightly in June, just 0.3%, as Trump's tariffs start doing exactly what they're supposed to do. Bring production back to America and stop the Chinese from eating our lunch. Meanwhile, the Federal Reserve over there is clutching their little pearls and whining that imported items like furniture and audio equipment cost more.
Why are you importing stuff?
Wait, no.
What?
Well, he's saying that. They're saying that's what costs more. The same people that are $700 million over budget on a $2.5 billion renovation don't preach to me and don't preach to us about that.
Have you never heard of the GSA? Have you never heard of quality furniture made by Skillcraft by the blind?
Woo!
Why?
Yeah.
When we were in the military, we needed a pen. We got them cheap Skillcraft pens.
I gave whatever Uncle Sugar gave me. All right, let's go to Warren. Warren, you're live on the Josh Guillory Show. What's up, Warren? What you got today, my man?
Well, you could build several ships. We substantially lower in numbers compared to China. And Trump, it really concerns me because not only should he fire the Fed, they should just do away with it. And I want to hear something about Charles and Andrew and them over there and the British government. I'm money into the Bank of England. I'm getting very concerned. I want to hear that they throwing them out because they're a bunch of bums. And I wanted to say about the cloud seeding, 2010, 12, I was working at the airport and they had an ag tractor come in and it was painted in camouflage. These are crop dusters, painted in camouflage, pressurized cabin, the avionics of a jet with a big single dump. It didn't have split booms like crop dusters and it was made to fly, big jet prop engine, and it could have been used for some really nefarious purposes, and it was going to Saudi Arabia, so I know it wasn't a firefighter that happened for us over there. Thank you, Josh.
Well, thank you, Warren. Certainly appreciate it. Oh, he always lands it with a little punch at the end. So
I was lost.
So he just suddenly, and I don't think they have any forests over there. He's talking about Saudi Arabia. Anyway, let's go to Scott. Scott, what you got? But thanks for calling into the show.
Hey guys, two things. One, the little black pens were made by Skillcraft. You remember that?
That's right. Yeah.
You end your career with the Skillcraft. I remember that very, very good. My first artist tell me that. And Warren was right. There's a company called Air Tractor. They made an 802 U. And it was sent over to that company by Eric Prince. Eric Prince had. It wasn't called Blackwater anymore. I can't remember what they called it. And, they were used in Syria. And Eric Prince was doing some work over in Syria using those aircraft to drop some ordnance.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Scott, we appreciate you, brother. What was your MOS?
My MOS, I was a 152 Delta. I flew OH-58Ds.
Hey,
No.
man, that's really
Not the
cool.
pilot.
Yeah,
Man.
well, thank you for your
Just fly us
service.
around sometime.
Yeah, you gentlemen too. I appreciate it.
Appreciate
Thank
you,
you.
brother. Thank you. All right, phone lines are still open. 232-1542 outside of Acadiana. 844-766-6607. Go to rumble.com and you can see, let's see if there we go. Go right there. Right there, you can see these numbers. Okay. Let's go over a few little facts. So June, it's reported that June inflation clocked in at 0.3%.
Wow.
Yeah, 0.3. Okay. So that's 3.5% annualized. So it's not great, but it sure as heck ain't scary. I mean, 3.5% is not scary. That's not scary at all.
How do they even get that number?
Well, they annualize it. They go off of what?
That is the most answerist answer. Well, they annualize it.
Well, I don't know what to say. I don't know how to say. I'm also a family law attorney.
And
so
how does that work?
There's a whole bunch of ways. You can go year to date. You can do a little formula, or you could just say times 12.
Well, I just don't trust that. I don't think that makes any sense to me.
It doesn't.
Okay.
But no. It's just a forecast.
Because 3%.
No, that makes sense. That's okay. They forecast all the time.
But if we're at 0.3, there's no way inflation's going up 3%. That would destroy us.
Think of cost of living going up 3%. That's average.
I just think they're wrong.
I think it's 2 to 3%. 3.5 is not, guys. 3.5 is not anything to be anywhere close to panic. Okay, but it's a talking point. It's a talking point. But you have some folks that are saying it's just cost. The same people in the same building. All right, but check this out. Core inflation, that strips out food and energy. It rose just 2.9%, lower than expected. So this is what's going to happen. You'll look at CNN and MSNBC and they'll say this is horrible. Fox News probably won't report on this because it's nothing.
What's the source?
There's no story here.
What's the source on that one?
Mine?
Yeah.
Oh, over at Reuters?
Reuters. Well, I'm sure it'll be reported completely different on Fox News.
But I want to give the facts to the folks. Yeah, no, I know. But no, really think about it, guys, because we are going to hear it from two different filters like we always do. But the good thing about this topic is there's numbers. So you are now equipped way more than most lawyers, way more than most political commentators. You, our awesome audience, us together. We know facts. So now you could kind of debate. So yeah, 3.5 annualized, okay, 0.3% in June. But if you hold on to the 3.5, that's easier to process, in my opinion. And if you compare that to the past, it's not that bad at all. And then you take core inflation. All that means strip out food, strip out energy. And that's at 2.9%, lower than expected. Now, is that going to be reported? Because, by the way, I got that number and the core inflation from this Reuters article. Not necessarily the beacon of conservative hood.
Well, I'll put it this way. You know what CNN's covering right now? Why high-tech chatbots are prone to hateful rhetoric. What are you talking about?
Wait, what?
Why
I can't see anything.
High-tech chatbots are prone to hateful rhetoric. X had to issue an apology because its AI, Grok AI, apparently was saying some anti-Semitic stuff. Like, I don't understand what's happening.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Wow.
Oh, I just don't get it.
Now, Trump says prices are low, and he's right. I mean, this is all objective data. Look, think about it. Real wages, they're holding up. Not what you were told, not what we were told 2-3 months ago. But yeah, real wages, actual wages with real people are holding up. The economy is growing. And energy finally is stable. I mean, that was such a carousel over the last 4 years. Now we're in Louisiana, so all that economic success with oil and gas doesn't apply to us. We try to kick oil and gas out.
Dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Sue the hell out of them and 8.5% higher severance tax than Texas. We say it every election. And I keep telling these dang legislators, I will write the damn bill for you. You take all the credit. Don't even mention my name. It's such an easy freaking fix. Why? Hey, guys, severance tax. Can we not just agree on that? Can we not just agree to be? I'm not even saying zero. I'm saying just do what Texas is doing. Make us competitive. I thought we were Republicans. Anyway, all right, guys, stick around. We'll be right back. the Josh Guillory Show, broadcasting live from the Bill and Bear Studios right here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Bill and Bear, your hometown lawyers. Give those guys a call. You got legal questions, man. They're going to take care of you. All right, phone lines are still open, 232-1542, 844-766-6607. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, you're live on the Josh Guillory Show. What name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Josh, it is me, Chad Hardy from Arnaville. How you doing, bro?
Hey, Chad, what's going on from beautiful Arnaville, raw terrain?
Hey, none but heat and more heat, bro. Staying inside the AC. Making Slimco happy.
You ain't kidding, brother.
Where are we today? You know what? I'm calling. I just messaged you, but Thursday I'm going to be in town to go to Don's for Don. But I'm going to drop you and Jamie off some good. I'll say what, but you know it is from my message. So I'll bring about 9 for you and about 2 for Jamie. Is that Jamie with you, right?
Whoa.
What do we have? What was this? What's happening now? I missed the part.
Ginger snap and peanut butter cookies.
Oh, man, let me tell you something.
You
don't be teasing. Don't be faking me now. Don't be faking me.
I'll bring my own milk. You got it.
Oh, no, seriously. Me and Jason, my friend, are going to stop by.
I love that.
Hey, what you talk? You got how much time you got? About a couple of minutes to talk about the Senate race?
Well, go ahead with the Senate race. You got about 30 seconds. Go for it.
Okay, well, I think with Castle's $9 million war check, she's going to beat the hell out of Dr. Fleming and the new candidate, Senator Benitez. Guy called in yes, and Joe was certain for Moon that Dr. Fleming is a nasty campaigner. I disagree with that, but everybody's record is fair game, and you can see a lot of records come out on a lot of things, especially CS, who was for and against it at the beginning. And if you're okay with that, I will call you some more tomorrow. We'll just discuss it when I bring you goodies Thursday around 3:30, brother.
Man, hey, great commentary and goodies, man. That's a great call. Thank you, bud. Appreciate you. I'm going to tear it up too, boy. Hey, very good point, though, that he makes, that Senator Cassidy, now he raised, I guess in the last report, $2 million. He's up to $9 million in the bank. That's a lot. Secretary Fleming has $2.1 million in the bank, but he loaned his campaign $2 million. So
I don't even look at money anymore, honestly.
No, it's a different ball game now. And then Senator Miguez, who's announced, Blake Miguez, there's no reporting on that. But I'll tell you this. I talked to Blake personally the other day, and that dude is working his tail off fundraising, and he's putting in the effort. I'll tell you that. And he's a good fundraiser.
Well, I mean, he's having to fight the governor, which you shouldn't have to you from from right next door to each other.
I don't understand.
Should not, this is petty and it's stupid. Governor, if you're listening, I mean, we come on, man.
I'm just saying. And on that insurance bill, that's basically what it is. Blake voted against one of the insurance bills.
100%.
Because he was right. I'm sorry. Not all the bills were bills that were going to help us. And matter of fact, did any of them?
I just checked. Just got my bills month. Nope. Went up.
We got a whole bunch of people in the studio. Anybody? Mine did.
Yeah, somebody call. If your insurance actually went down, call.
That's what I'm talking about. And tell us which one so we can get.
Yeah, please. Who's your agent? Come on.
Yeah, tell us your agent.
Hey, you'll probably get a kickback or something. Not a kickback, a referral.
Messages.
Bonus.
Don't give you private stuff. Yeah, but that's true. I'm tired of stuff. And man, I just know how easy it is. And no one can convince me otherwise because we've been there. And we've been told you can't do it. You can't do that because that's how we always done it. Whatever. All right, let's go to the phone lines. Warren, round. What you got, Warren?
Well, I think the 9 million just shows the level of corruption when it comes to Dick Darnold. Bill Cassidy, you take the first letter off the first name and the last name, and that's what he got. But also, thank you for that military guy calling and tell us about where that aircraft was being used, because it's very interesting that Isaiah 17 talks about Damascus. When you see the destruction of Damascus standing ready, and we know that Israel is bombing them right now, and they told them, if y'all hurt the Jews, we had the regime change, and that's what it says in Isaiah 17, God's going to get rid of those guys. And so y'all need to keep close watch on what's going on with Damascus, Syria. Thank you, John.
Thanks, Warren. Appreciate you. Man, getting biblical, regional. I love it. Just wrapping up Joshua and just saw all the land
Mr.
that the Israelites divided across the Jordan
and
on both sides. But anyway.
Mr. B in Lafayette says gas is still high. I haven't seen much on that. Gas isn't getting nearly as high as it was a few years ago. Gas is pretty.
Gas is all right. But hey, look, I don't know. I hadn't noticed it, but I'm gonna look now. All right, guys, look, if you haven't followed us on rumble.com, I want you to go there. Go to rumble.com. It's very easy, man. It's very easy to follow us. We don't harass you. And they'll unlock some more features for us. Our chat, you got any chats you can read off? I can't see them from the screen.
Oh, there's a bunch.
Okay, well, go on.
There's some whole conversation.
Go on Rumble. We're going to check it out after the show. But just to wrap it up here, man, I think we can summarize the Federal Reserve's attitude right now. Hey, economically, the chair may be right, but it wouldn't hurt for him to explain himself. We can handle it. Because the only thing that I've seen and the only thing public are his fellow board members publicly asking him to lower the rates. And I say him, it's a vote, but he's the chair. Okay. Heavy's whose head that wears the crown, but make some better decisions, damn it. All right, guys, thank y'all so much for tuning in. It was a blast. I can't wait till tomorrow. Be careful out there. May God bless you and be kind.